How's everybody doing out there? This is Duane Fletcher with Fletcher Community Media. Got some new books out. No, I haven't did a podcast in a while, but I got some brand new books out. I just finished one. I haven't talked in a while because I've been doing these, but this is one, a real good one right here. The Black Hand by Duane Fletcher. I'll read the back of it for you. A tennis pro allegedly doubles as an assassin for the KGB. Suspicions slowly become facts. A team of investigators is dispatched to find out the truth. At face value, it looks like Russian mafia fixing the matches to win at gambling. Then a sinister plot against an American president is uncovered. Can our hero find out when and where they will strike? Can he stop them from taking out their next target? Okay, this is a really good one right here. Also, I have The Nibble Necks. This is a really good one also. Twin Russian hitmen working for the KGB come to town. They have death in his agenda. They target law enforcement and the community. When they go after our hero, Duane is ready. Can he save the town from their terror? Have they bitten off more than they can chew? Okay, this is another really good one. Let's see, also, last but not least, The Battle of Fléchet, The Arrows. The Battle of Fléchet, The Arrows. War is raging in Eastern Europe. The Russians believe Napoleon had a secret battle plan he used on them 200 years ago. They also believe he hid a vast treasure he stole from them. They try to break into a war museum in France and try to kidnap someone believed to be Napoleon's heir. The air fights out the Russian, embarks on a dangerous adventure. When the CIA gets involved, all hell breaks loose. Have the Russians finally met their matches as this Cold War heats up? It's a race for the battle plan and the treasure. Okay, this is another really good one. So, reason why I haven't been filming the podcast because we're trying to concentrate on writing and stuff like that. I got 3 really good brand new books out. Blurb.com, 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 Duane Fletcher, DUANE FLETCHER, Duane Fletcher, Blurb.com. Okay. Also, you can check me out on X, which used to be Twitter, at Issues by FCM. Okay, reason why I'm making this podcast, I noticed something disturbing in the news the other day. It's disturbing a lot of people. It talks about the argument between Poland and Ukraine, arguing about grain and stuff like that. They're arguing about the grain and who can sell grain where and things like that. And one of the first things that came to mind was that basically you guys need to form a cartel. Okay? Poland, Ukraine, maybe I would say, let's see, who else I put here? Slovakia, Romania, Poland, Ukraine. You guys need to form a cartel. And I'm not saying that that's what you need to do, but basically more or less, could you at least explore the option instead of arguing with each other and stuff like that? Because right now, we need all hands on deck and to try to thwart this evil and stuff, because you know there's stuff going on in the street here in Jacksonville, there's stuff going on the battlefield in Ukraine, and we need all hands on deck to hopefully they can push the Russians out completely out of Ukraine, and maybe some of the stuff that's going on over here will stop also. But if you could at least explore the option of forming a cartel, where basically there's 3 different types of cartels, okay? Number 1, fixes prices. That way, all of you guys that's in the cartel together, you agree on a price for the product. Market share, divide the market equally without arguing with each other. Divide the market up equally without arguing. And sometimes there's other types of cartels that control output. Okay, so I noticed that they already have an index, and it's called the Black Sea FOB over there, Black Sea WHFOB and the Black Sea FOB. Maybe there might be a need for a new grain cartel with Ukraine, Poland, Slovakia, Romania heading it, because it'll keep you from arguing and allow you to meet and sit down and talk over a price and market share and things like that. The reason why, what is the first thing that came to my mind was because here in Florida, the orange juice growers have a cartel, and basically, you know, if they have a bad crop, there's other orange juice growers in South America and California that can sell to their customers. Or if California has a bad crop, the Florida guys and the South American orange juice growers can basically sell to the California customers and things like that. And once you form this cartel, you won't argue anymore, because all of the product gets sold. There's sugar cane, Big Sugar. I believe Big Sugar here in the Caribbean also has a cartel. You need to basically form a cartel. And like I said, I'm not saying that that's what you need to do. I want to say basically that could you at least explore the option of forming a cartel with Ukraine, Poland, Slovakia, and Romania. And you probably want to exclude, of course, Russia, exclude someone like Hungary, and because they're going to try, whatever you say is not good to them unless it favors Russia. And we all know what's going on with Russia right now. So that's, just exclude Russia out of it and form your own grain cartel. A lot of people spend money on grain. Egypt spent $2.4 billion last year. I think Turkey spent $1.7 billion. Nigeria, $493 million. Azerbaijan spent $339 million. Saudi Arabia spent $316 million. Kazakhstan spent $120 million. These could possibly become exclusive new customers to a new cartel, because the sanctions on Russia is just getting worse and worse, because they haven't pulled out yet. They need to pull out of Ukraine, and that way everyone can get back to business. They probably need a new leader, and they need to pull their troops out. Like I said, that's my opinion. And so basically that's what I would suggest, that could there possibly the option of forming your own cartel with Ukraine, Poland, Slovakia, and Romania, that can basically you can meet and basically set the prices instead of arguing about you cease to become each other's competition at that point, and all of the product gets sold, all of it. Okay. Also, now what else I wanted to talk about here was basically the United Nations meeting. There's a big meeting. I would encourage a lot of you to check this out. There's a big, huge meeting in in New York right now. It's a NATO meeting, United Nations meeting, and I'll let you see my history here, my search history here, because I've been watching all of it. I've been watching a lot of it. I'll let you see my search history. I watched the one from Liechtenstein. I also watched the one from Austria. The Austrian president had a really good speech. Also listened to the one from Albania. He had a good speech also. Burundi, Serbia, Russo, Japan. Hold on, wait a minute. That's not what I said. Hold on. Liberia, Monaco, Lebanon, Marshall Islands, Belgium, Republic of South Korea, Spain, Democratic of the Congo, Dominican Republic, Chile, Sierra Leone, Estonia, Latvia, Honduras, just to name a few. Bosnia, the president of Bosnia had a really good speech, and I would encourage a lot of you to check this out. Here's the rest of them here: Switzerland, Japan, Kyrgyzstan, Czech Republic, Kazakhstan. I watched all of these videos because I like to stay on top of the subjects, and basically form my own opinion after hearing the different praises or complaints from about the world, the state of the world, from the different leaders of these countries, and I would encourage you to watch it and form your own opinion. So there's a big meeting in New York, and it's going on right now. So but let's see, this other thing I wanted to talk about here, because the politicians are getting together and right now, and I have to agree with President Zelensky. President Zelensky and President Biden both had good speeches also. And I have to agree with President Zelensky that some of the bylaws for the United Nations probably need to be changed, because as it is right now, they have someone breaking the law that has to do with war, and he's vetoing him stopping the war at the same time. And that's like that's a conundrum. They're basically, it is but it isn't, huh? What are they, what's going on with that he's being allowed to break the law and veto him getting caught breaking the law. But they probably do need to change, update. It's not a destruction of the charter. It'll be just an update that no one gets slick and slide in there to the Security Council and be able to have that kind of power anymore that they can veto. As it is, they have 5 members, permanent members of the Security Council that can veto anything. They probably need 3. They need 3 or maybe 4. All five permanent members of the Security Council should have a say in it. It's not just one person that says that they want to go to war and they breaking the law that says that there can be no war. That's their job, is supposed to stop wars and things like that. So, but to me, this myth about this Russian juggernaut died on the battlefield in Ukraine. This Russian juggernaut, it died on the battlefield in Ukraine, basically. This myth of them being untouchable, unbeatable. And it's not just that, because it's a lot of people that actually fought Russia before it won. It's not just, it's not just Ukraine is winning right now. Napoleon pretty much beat Russia backwards, all the way back to Moscow. As a matter of fact, I think Napoleon's the only one that ever got to Moscow when he was fighting Russia. And there was, Battle of Gorodencho, the Battle of Smolensk. Then there was Flechier, Borodino Redoubt, the trench fighting that went on where the Russians had dug out these big, huge trenches. They called it the Flechier. Well, the French named it the Flechier. And then the Great Redoubt, these huge earthworks and trench networks that the Russians built. Napoleon had to beat them out of that. And then he marched into Moscow without firing a shot because they had retreated so far backwards. So also, that was in 1812. Now also, there was also the incidents that had to do with what we talked about before. Even before that, left bank Ukraine, right bank Ukraine, where the Ukrainian forces, the original people that lived in Ukraine, they fought Russia. I think it was like 600 years ago, something like that. 400 years ago, back in the 1600s, and they had an issue where left bank Ukraine and right bank Ukraine was divided up because Moscow wanted to show off, and eventually got beat and pushed out completely. Then of course there's Japan. Japan beat the snot out of Russia a long time ago. Japan beat the snot out of Russia. There's no two ways of saying it. And like I said, I encourage you to look up some of this stuff for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. But two particular battles stood out to me because it's what's going on now. It's what's going on right now in Ukraine, where the Russians have all of these different layers of defensive. They got beat backwards, so now they have all of these different layers of defenses layered up in the Donbas and the Luhansk area and things like that. Well, back in 1904 and 1905, Liaoyang, the Battle of Liaoyang and the Battle of Nanshan Hill, the Russians had barbed wire and trench networks. They had mined the area also, heavy mines, Maxim machine guns set inside concrete fortresses on a hill, 114 cannons, thousands and thousands of troops, and eventually the Russians got paranoid. I think they just like the Battle of Flechier, the Japanese tried to take Nanshan Hill from the Russians 9 times, and after the 9th battle, the Russians got paranoid. They blew up their own ammo dump and then they took off. They retreated. They ran for their lives and stuff like that. But this is what's going on now with these layers and layers of defenses that the Russians have set up. they can be pushed out. You know, it's other people that have done it before. Um, Poland, the Battle of Warsaw, the Battle of Warsaw, 1920. Poland beat the Russians backwards. Also, the Russians were trying to encircle Warsaw, and just north of Warsaw, their pincer move was broken. The pincer move was broken. I think, basically the pincer is like a hand, and once you dislocate that thumb or that pinky, they can't do it. And Poland basically got them by the hand, and they was not allowed to. The pincer move that they tried to use to encircle Warsaw was defeated. Then the Polish army captured a radio, and some kind of way, the Russians knew that they were about to be outflanked and beaten, but they didn't trust their own intelligence, probably because they lost their radio to the Polish army and stuff like that. So, it's other people. It's people that beat them. They control. Like that happened. That happened at the Battle of Smolensk with Napoleon too, where the Russians saw Napoleon setting up, but they didn't believe that that's what he was going to do, and then they had to retreat to run for their lives and stuff like that. There's different people. There's Napoleon's army from France, Poland, Japan. There's several people that have actually beaten Russia. They've handed out them. They've beaten them. So, it's not just this doom and gloom that Russia's just going to basically destroy everything, that there's this juggernaut. They've been beaten before. And like I said, do some research on this stuff for yourself. Do some research on this stuff yourself so that you can be privy to this information. This is some really good notes that I took here from the other night, where basically I've been researching this stuff for some of for dialogue that has to do with some of my dialogue that has to do with some of my action novels and stuff like that. So I do a lot of research, and this is what I came up with. Basically, there's a lot of different times that people have had to have fought through these different layers that the Russians have set up. Napoleon, Poland, and Japan beat them, and Ukraine beat them too. Back in the 1600s, when they had the battle over right bank Ukraine, left bank Ukraine. Some of you can look that up. But from what I take of it, that this basically, once they start losing, they get paranoid. Yeah, really paranoid. That's what happened with him in Japan. He had a strict fear of being encircled, so he took off, and Japan beat him. So, do some research for yourself. But that's all I had to say. I just wanted to make a little quick podcast. Duane Fletcher Community Media, got some brand new books out. The Black Hand by Duane Fletcher, The Nibble Necks, The Battle of Fléché, The Arrows, brand new stuff out. Check it out, blurb.com, 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 DuaneFletcher, Duane Fletcher, blurb.com. Brand new material out. Thank y'all, and talk to you later.